I have no idea what happened.
Because there's definitely there's some important things. I actually screen recorded a fucking part that was important that needs to be remembered.
The only thing I remember is us learning about that statue outside. Cormit pissing on the statue.
That did happen.
Um,
Do you remember what about the statue? What was said?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody else?
It's really old.
It is really old.
I think that's what.
It is really old, and it was according to the guys like great grandpa's uncles, cousins, people that they met who met some people one time long ago. I think with like the exact quote. It's really old. The people are really old. They haven't been there in a while, and the people were not good people who built that statue.
Oh,
they were not good people. So yes, that is one detail, and Cormit did piss on it. Anything else?
I remember we questioned the body of the dead kobold there, and learned very quickly that it had no intent of telling us anything we actually asked. We eventually decided just to like dig up under it. I think the earth under it looked kind of goofy, and we found the last two masks kind of buried under it.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, this little kobold guy, Rango, kept asking kind of questions about these masks, and it just kept saying the same thing. I think it was like, no mask here, no mask here. And then you all kind of picked up on like, yeah, he's just lying. And with some perception checks, you're able to realize there's a little patch that could be dug up underneath of him. And then so I believe Gangu got down and like ripped the body apart, and then just started digging with his non-hammer hand.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And that's how you're able to find the two masks under there. Also found a note buried under there with the mask given by Garvin, who basically said like this kobold, which I think TT was his name, in the note. Basically this kobold was his only like real friend. I think he called him family even in the little note. You also learned that the kobold more than likely possibly died of like a heart attack. And it was like natural causes. No violent ill came upon that kobold.
Yeah, because we were convinced that followers of Tiamat looking for the masks.
Yeah, that maybe yeah, got it.
Rock him down.
Yes. Yes,
well,
yes, indubitably.
That kobold was like lying to us, saying that he didn't know anything, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's when we just murked him and looked underneath him.
Yeah, because in the note, like it basically says, like Garvin was like, yeah, don't trust anybody when it comes to these masks. If they just start asking questions about masks, just don't even act like they know they're there. Because I think the exact words are like they just want the treasure that these masks can unlock. And I think Garvin even says at the end, like, hell, I don't even want, if I can't have the treasure, I don't want anybody else to have it. Yes. So we got the kobold, the mask, the statue. Anything else from anybody?
I know we all sat down and ended up, each one of us attuned to one of the masks.
Yeah. And so
right.
The exact list that I have, Cormit is attuned to the black mask, Gangu the blue, Rango the red, Ojitai the white, and Saoirse the green.
Yo.
No. And yeah, MP Royce was very adamant that he gets one or all the masks, which you guys...
One or all.
Yeah. Which you guys so eagerly said no several times. Also,
yeah, I remember Yeah, Gingu decided after he put on the mask to say something in Draconic of like, we can't trust this guy.
Yeah, he's not a friend of
And the rest of
ours.
us just looked at him like, he is the emissary of a dragon god. You don't think he speaks Draconic?
Yeah, and then Impy Royce clapped back and was like, "Well, you're not a friend of mine either, bitch."
Hey, Gangu learns things from the consequences of his actions.
Right, exactly. Like like a
Now he
3-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah, so that happened. So Impy Royce kind of be sussing a little bit because you guys won't let him have any of the good fun doohickeys, and also uh um I'm having like a stroke right now. Hold on, just bear with me. Gangu basically took a shit on him. It was like, "You're not our friend, bitch." So yes, that did happen. MP Royce also during that conversation kind of revealed like he is wary of what you guys plan to do. He believes wholeheartedly that you are here to get rid of Tiamat, but he doesn't know what you're in. This ring is told to basically just kind of grant you whatever, based on the stories, and kind of he is just curious what you are planning to do with this power. He has his own motives on exactly what he wants to do, and he is not aware exactly of what each of you want to do. Frankly, I don't know if each other know exactly what each
Yeah, I
person
don't think
will do.
any of us have sat down and said
had
like,
that
this is what we
conversation.
want to do.
Right, exactly. That you all are kind of kicking that
But-
can down the road.
And
a
we
little
were
bit.
also told like none of us are really going to
Yeah,
be the one that's
he's asking
making
the wrong
wish,
people.
so
Right.
it doesn't matter what any of us individually want.
Yep.
Which is probably for the best that he's distracted by us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Remember, I offered one of the masks to Jenkins.
Yeah, I think the red
Harold?
one, the one, Harold,
Harold.
the red one.
And he did not want to take it.
Yeah. Basically, he felt weird about it, having been the one that carried it around. Also, I think it was 2 sessions before that, maybe one. Kankins said basically like, whenever
Let me drive the boat.
Yeah, whenever it comes to the end of the end, he wants to be the one to pull the trigger.
If that was 3 sessions ago, then 2 sessions ago, Gingu said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally the session after because Saoirse had the conversation with Harold.
Right.
Where he was like, "Yeah, I want to be the one," and then I think the beginning of our next session, when I
Gingu
woke
was
up
having
in
that.
Gengu's lap, Gengu told Saoirse, "I want to be the one."
Yeah.
It's like, ah.
And if I remember correctly, Serge didn't act like he was in a predicament at all, so Gengu just like accepted that was what was going to happen.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
So
I have
2
no
people
knowledge
that
of Kenkins. Yeah.
You have 2 people that are very much thinking they're Neo right now.
Yeah. I think Saoirse just thinks, like, whoever it's gonna be, we're not gonna know until we're there. So
Yeah.
whoever wants to now can want to. And then when we get there.
One thing I don't remember, who is holding the ring at this point?
Cormet.
Yeah, Corman.
Corman
So-
has-
No.
Or no, I think Cole's
I
right.
The
think
first note that I have from last session is Gingu takes the ring from Cormet.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
on our way out of the cavern. Yeah. That's right.
But very important note: Impy Royce firmly believes I think Saoirse still has
Yeah.
the ring in
Yeah.
his possession.
Yeah.
Because I was watching back and honestly, I confused myself on who had what when it came to the ring.
Because I don't think Saoirse has the wish, or does he?
The scroll.
No, the scroll. 'Cause
I
at one point,
know who
Rango
has
gave
that.
it
Yeah.
to Saoirse.
Rango
and-
would still have that.
I'll give it away.
We're just playing.
I don't know who I gave it to, but
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I do. Okay, so Saoirse still has the wish then. He does. But yeah, the
Corman has
ring
the
and
wish
the cubic
also.
gate has.
I have the cubic gate, yeah, and the ring,
Yeah.
which are two powerful things to have in tandem.
Let's see. All right. So we have the statue, the mask. Kind of Impy Royce is feeling towards the mask. What everybody's kind of at least Gangu and Kankins, as far as like they want to be the ones with the ring, to pull the trigger at the very end. Let's see what else. Anybody got anything else?
Whenever Gingu dug up the box, another note that was in there was the recipe for Grandma's cupcakes.
Yes. Very important. I think it was 1 cup of flour, some mushrooms, maybe one other ingredient. I think they put it in like an oven or a kiln for 30 seconds. If I recounted that accurately, then I deserve some sort of, I don't know, Nobel Peace Prize or something.
We also slayed 2 dragons. I think that's
yes. Yeah.
No minor
More
feat.
than 2, wasn't it? It was
3. It was 1 really big one and 2 kind of like smaller. And by one was ginormous and the other 2 were very large.
Yeah, when the ginormous one came into view off of the edge, and we had just finished the other ones, I was like, "Oh,
we're dead."
These were the babies.
Yeah,
this is mom.
And I also remember Rango's. What was it? Was it a force wall?
Yeah.
That you had in the cavern? Yeah. That had the little guys like stuck against the back of it as you were just eldritch blasting the fuck out of them.
Hey, I got terrified. The second that I get the second the attention turns on me, I'm just like, hide.
Yeah.
Sersh at one point cast Contact Deity to Io. He asked what the purpose of the masks is and what to do to combine them. And the answer was, these masks together will unlock something, and the thing you unlock will also unlock something. A tool that can unlock death will be bestowed upon you, and you use these masks to claim it.
That was the one. That was the one little piece of media that I actually like screen recorded, so I could get the exact wording that I used down without having to write it.
That's right, because it was the first time we learned that we may get something besides the ring when we get to where we need to go.
Yeah.
Or something.
Also, that was the first time you guys kind of had any idea what these masks are used for.
Yep.
Yeah.
You knew that they were kind of powerful, but you didn't have any inkling, I think you had an inkling, but you didn't know exactly what they were usefulness was outside of the powers they granted to the wearer. So now you kind of know.
Cool.
I said plan is we go through cave with Impy while Dragon Masters and Branacorians assist.
Yeah. So Branacor and Valor Company was the other.
Yeah.
That was kind of the other thing. So basically, while you guys have kind of been doing your own thing, the Dragon Masters and people Branacor have now kind of turned to Valor Corp, who have so graciously offered their aid finally. And they've kind of turned towards them to help them out here in this last little fight for everything. And so the plan is kind of agreed upon. I think you guys, I don't know if you guys actually agreed or not, but everybody else is on board with basically they have a big old fight, and that distracts them while you guys kind of try your best to sneak and deal with any kind of light resistance through these caves and tunnel systems that should lead to the peak where Tiamat's tomb and all that stuff kind of lie. And that was the kind of next steps that were, like I said, I don't know if you guys verbally agreed to do this, but Impy Royce was definitely gung-ho about it. And I mean, he was kind of the, brainchild of this along with Dramoka.
We talked about whether or not we were going to long rest now or like try and start this journey to the peak and like long rest in between somewhere. I don't think we necessarily reached a conclusion on that.
Yeah, they basically said like, hey, like when you guys are like ready to fully commit to this, and we can basically just go whenever your all's word, and then everything kind of gets underway. I think they just stress the longer it takes you guys, the more costly it's going to be for everybody else.
And then, quick side note: the last thing we heard about the deity working in conjunction with Valor was that Moradin confirmed that was true, right?
Yes.
But he didn't say who it was, because I think it was just the commune with yes or no questions, but he did say yes. Because ever since that conversation with Mommy Tiamat, when she was in her form and Rango saw through her or whatever, dude, fuck Valor.
Yeah,
I think Saoirse is still convinced that they have orchestrated this entire thing just to have a power vacuum and swoop in.
Yeah, she was basically like, y'all are fools to not see Valor Core as the the greater evil over me.
And we discussed swapping masks.
Yes, that was also a discussion you guys had.
The note that I have on that is red Saoirse, bonus fire damage, white Gingu, extra cold damage on melee, blue Ojutai, no reactions on melee, green Cormit, for immunity to poison potentially. Is he, or if he's immune to poison, then healing from poison?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It's if you're immune, then you can heal from it.
Then you can heal from it. Yes.
Yeah, because
you can't heal from fire damage unless you're all. Oh, actually, are you already immune to fire damage?
I'm immune to fire damage, so that would.
Okay,
yeah.
So
effect in.
Right.
That was kind of like your all's revelation. Why you guys wanted to maybe.
Yeah, you can just
resistant to poison, so the mask makes me immune to poison. Wearing the green one.
Yeah, so you can infinite heal with the red one then. As long as you catch on fire. And then
hey, we can make that happen.
And then black Rango doesn't fucking matter is the note that I have.
Black Rango aesthetic.
Aesthetic, yeah.
Exactly. Looks dope.
Trying to make sure that we're not missing anything else.
I handed over the cloak of displacement
to Kenny. Yeah, I have that written down.
Oh, right.
I have that written down on the board of infinite knowledge next to me. To make sure I did not forget that. Which means I need to definitely have that its sheet pulled up for that. Cool. All right. I cannot think of anything else that's like super duper important. Where if we didn't recall it, then it would be a detriment.
Well, I'm walking over to Ojutai.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Ojutai, you want this mask? It seems to match your scales a little better.
I'll kind of look at it and look at the white one. I don't think it really matters to me too much on if it matches. Just how useful they are.
The white one.
I think this one's a little
blue.
There you go. Swap with them.
We trade masks.
Dude, that is so weird. It says like legacy for like all the old like 5e stuff now.
Yep.
Hate that.
I'll go over to Saoirse and Cormit. Well, lads, I think a little swapperoo might be beneficial here. Rip the red mask off.
I rip the green off, and I start juggling all the masks.
All right, so Ojutai and or not Ojutai. Ojutai and Gengu switch, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have white.
All right.
I have blue.
Boom. While you guys are doing this, Cormac kind of pipes up. Nobody's getting my black mask. I have grown very attached to this color. Black will be mine.
I guess I'll be stuck with green then. Doesn't really matter either way, so.
And so Ringo and Saoirse.
It just has to throw a wrench in the plan.
This does not look as cool.
The aesthetic is not there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fuck, I forgot the advantage on all the charisma checks.
Cormid, are you sure? You know, this would really match you better. Be a good look. Be a real good look. And that would match me better.
I was pretty partial to the red mask.
Well,
Vomit green is your color.
Oh.
I do think it would look mighty nice.
also, Cormid, how are you with poison?
Oh, poison doesn't bother me.
At all?
Let me see. Last I checked it all, but it might just be a little bit. But I'm pretty sure it's at all.
Well, you should figure that out. This could be a great thing for you.
It's been a long time.
You could drink a lot. You might be able to drink so much that it starts to regenerate you.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion with advantage.
Meanwhile, I'm rummaging through my chest for any poisonous item to give to him to test.
22. It's all right. We'll give him alcohol poisoning.
22. Cormet. Yeah. Okay. I'll switch you mask.
I'm holding a moldy piece of bread. Put it back in my chest.
Wait, is that mold bread?
Why? Yes, it is.
A delicacy
like
from back home.
My pap used to make back in the bayou.
Well, here. Memory of your pep.
He grabs the moldy bread and eats it. The mold adds a certain type of taste, you know.
Do you feel better?
You know, I was already feeling pretty good, but I think I might feel even a little better.
Oh, let's go.
Grandma's cookie recipe has nothing on moldy bread.
Pep's moldy bread recipe. You take a piece of bread and you leave it in the swamp for a few days.
So what's the plan, lads? We have these masks. Garvin's cave is right here. What do you say, Dramoka?
Well, as I said, everyone else stands by ready to enact the plan that we've come up with. It is now up to you when you want to make this happen.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm fairly beat up. But I also don't think it's right to make them wait. So we strive forward.
If I might say, if you need to wait, we can wait. Because once we begin, a wait might cost others their lives.
Depending on the shape you're in now, if you don't think you can make it to the peak, then we may need to rest now.
well. I'm just gonna walk over to the statue, turn my back, and sit down and lean against it.
So do you start a little long rest for yourself?
I'm initiating it for myself, waiting for the group.
Okay.
You see my eyes, the red light in my eyes just go to darkness. As if I'm shutting down.
Just got the white mask and now he wants to just sleep in the snow. Right. We wait until Ingu and anyone else that needs rest gets it. And we'll mobilize.
Sorry, I'm trying to find one little piece of information.
I'll head off into the cave and prestidigitate a little fire going. And then I'm gonna get out my my ledger and gonna start continuing to scribe forbiddance.
We'll move in and join Rango by the fire.
I'm gonna perform a short rest then.
Alright, so you're not taking a long rest?
Does anyone...
Depends how long and how many actions everyone has, really.
Does anyone need a long rest, or are we good for a short rest?
I am
I think
perfectly fine with just a short rest.
I think that it depends on how long we think it's going to take to get up the mountain. Because I've had Foresight running for probably an hour, maybe, and it lasts 8 hours. So it's going to take more than 6 hours to finish this. Then we should probably short rest. But
I'm down with a short rest. I don't have anything that I need to.
Are we planning on going the long way up the mountain, or are we? Thought the plan was we were teleporting straight in.
There is sneaking through the tunnels was the option, or you could do a summoning circle and teleport straight in, technically, because you do know that about the circle there.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Forgot about that.
If we're going to short rest, I could scry into the room before. But last time I did that, I was greeted by Tiamat.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of halfway between short and long. I think I have enough spell slots for it.
Safe side is long rest.
I'm good either way. You what the group needs.
What time is it?
From Dramoka's insight into like once things kick off, once like we go, right? Like we're really not gonna have time for a long rest again, right?
That's kind of my interpretation of once we start going, we're going until it's ended.
Serge saying that, or is Scotty saying that?
On what Dramoka's little thing? That was above table.
Serge, how you feeling?
Yeah. A little drained. A little drained.
Righto.
I could press on, but the only thing that has me concerned is not knowing exactly what we'll face if we use the circle, and a couple of my higher end abilities for healing and stuff is exhausted at the moment.
I don't believe that we should be circling in. I think we need to foot it. But we also don't know what we're getting into. And the way Dramoka talked, it doesn't sound like once we're in there we're going to have much time for rest. So I think better safe than sorry we take our time here.
MP Royce kind of was off to the side having a little bit of a conversation with Dramoka. And then he kind of hovers over towards the group where you guys have been kind of conversating. And it sounds like Saoirse was about to say something, but MP Royce just butts in anyways. Yes. We need to make the peak as soon as possible. The sooner this ends, the better for everyone. Are we ready to go?
I think we're resting up a bit, MP.
Very well. Get your rest, but come time that we move with haste.
Absolutely. Agreed.
He just kind of looks at all of you guys, each individually. He gives Gengu a nice, hard, longer look than everybody else. And then without saying a word, he kind of hovers off to a little area with himself, and he pulls out Garvin, and him and Garvin start having a chat off to the side somewhere.
Constatory.
Yeah, constatory.
Sorry.
Like, where the fuck did Garvin come from?
Garvin's back!
He pulls out the corpse of Garvin.
And he starts talking to him. I apologize. Yes, constatory. Thank you.
Yeah, I will go in and join Saoirse and Rango in the cave around the fire.
And what time is it, Ryan? It's like 10 a.m.-ish.
I believe that is what was said last time.
Okay.
I'm Terranthrial.
Golly, yeah, all that legacy stuff, my goodness.
Well, if we are long resting, do that.
Are you still gonna take a little nappy nap by the statue?
Oh yeah, I've been turned off for like the past 10 minutes. They've been discussing this.
Gotcha.
And yeah, in fact, Gengu has a little bit of a dream too.
A dream?
Nothing significant. It's basically he sees a black abyss, and in the distance he can see a boy and what looks like Orlo.
Yep.
And Orlo is tapping the little boy on the shoulder. And as he's looking, he can see the Kraken come up from the abyss, tentacles and all, about to smack down on these boys. But as he's about to smack down, the little boy and Orlo seem to disintegrate to dust and fly away as if they're being swept up by the wind. And then everything returns to blackness.
Right before everything starts turning to blackness, Gengu, you see little flashes of white with weird imagery that you've never seen before and doesn't make any sense to you.
Can I do any sort of check on it? Any like perception, history?
I will let you do
religion.
I will let you do a religion or history check. Both would be with disadvantage, though.
All right. I rolled 2 11s, so 18.
18. Okay. Cool. I'll note that, and whenever the long rest is over, I'll get back to you.
And as these white symbols start to show around me, the dust seems to come back and form into itself again, but it is not the little boy in Orlo anymore. It is a replica of me that forms right in front of me. And this will happen right as I'm waking up from the long rest.
Got it. Everybody else who's settling down for a long rest, what's everybody doing before, after, during? More importantly, before and during.
I'm gonna take the 4 hours of not meditating to finish scribing forbiddance. That's all I'm doing.
Got it. Anybody else doing anything?
I am just staying up, kind of keeping this fire going in the cave. I am not taking a long rest because I don't need it.
Yep.
I'm just kind of stewing to myself.
Kenny and Harold, during all this, by the way, have been kind of quiet. Ojitai and Kenny did have a conversation. That was the one other little detail, I guess, during the recap. Do you remember that, how that conversation went, Ojitai?
Not.
So basically, before you guys went out and saw Dramoka, he kind of pulled you aside and was like, "Hey, like, I know that we had all these teachings at Bahamut, and I'm loyal to that. I'm more loyal to you and what you think, because without you, I would have basically could have been turned into a weapon of destruction against everybody. If it wasn't for you guys pulling me out of where you did. So basically, he was just kind of reaffirming that, regardless of his faith in Bahamut, your companionship with you and the rest of the group means more than that, than his faith.
Gotcha.
Because he was a little bit torn for a good while. And I think he still is a little bit, but he kind of finally is like, y'all are my homies. Ride it out. And then Harold's just been kind of quiet ever since the ship. He hasn't had too much entirely to say since you guys have been on the mountain itself. So when you all start long resting, he just kind of goes off and starts taking his rest. Kenny, more or less the same. As y'all are starting this, Cormit does go invisible. Who's the one that can see invisibility?
Me.
Cormit is invisible, and he goes up kind of close to Gengu, without touching him, and kind of mimics what Gengu's doing, and tries his best to be like Gengu, and is like trying to rest, but occasionally he just like opens his eyes and peeks at Gengu, and like he's just like really trying to get his posture exactly like Gengu, and you see him readjusting a whole bunch and like just kind of peeking.
Does the snow where he's sitting like compress to where I can tell it's like frog form?
You've already kind of like shut down. And,
well,
like,
I still have visual and hearing.
That's true. I'll tell you what. Give me a perception, but I will make this a disadvantage.
You see webbed feet. Webbed feet in the snow.
All right, 11.
11. So is that total, or is that like?
That's total.
All right.
I'll always get total.
I'll say that you don't like look around, but you can definitely like hear the crunching of snow near you. You know somebody is near you. It's probably Cormit. You don't know what he's doing near you. And frankly, not to put feelings into in Gengu's head, I don't think Gengu cares too much what Cormit's doing around him right now.
I don't.
Yeah.
All right.
So you know Cormit's near you, just not,
All right. I'm just making sure my pockets are not full of bird shit. That's all.
Yeah. No, you don't feel any of that. But you do kind of hear him finally just come to rest, basically.
All right. Well, I'm done with my.
And Lucas, you did get DM, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think before passing out, I think Serge is the one that is probably the one that's feeling the most exhausted. He pulls out he sits near near Rango, near the fire. He pulls the silver mirror he has out and places it down in front of him, kind of where the flames are dancing off the reflection. And he's gonna take 10 minutes and cast Scry.
Okay.
And he's gonna look for Old Man Kankins.
Old Man Kankins. All right. So you start scrying on Old Man Kankins. You are immediately transported to the warmth of Cabbageville. You see Kankins and his dearly beloved wife sitting in their home. She is making food. He is kind of getting, as was stated before, it's like 10 a.m. So he's kind of starting to get ready for his day. He's getting his stuff on to kind of go out and manage the cabbages. And as he walks out to go to his fields, you see kind of all around Cabbageville is soldiers of different kinds, kind of like waiting for orders to carry out whatever their various objectives are. And you see amongst these different soldiers and mercenaries and different fellows that are on your all side, you do see several kind of Valor Corp people kind of intermingled and off to the side as well, with all these folks. He just kind of scoots past all the different people while he goes to his fields and is working on his farms. So yeah, he's just trying to kind of make his life as normal as possible is what you kind of glean, considering the circumstances.
And then I think once that fades, Serge will do the same again for Reese.
Okay.
Before absolutely passing out.
So you go ahead and scry on Reese. You see Reese is at this point, he seems to be at the base of Dragonback Mountain somewhere, kind of laying in wait. You can see that all around are kind of Tiamat forces kind of flying around or maneuvering, just kind of themselves getting ready. And you can kind of see he's with a little small group that's kind of infiltrated their way up close to where the fighting's supposed to be kind of taking place, almost as like either forward observers or some sort of little special tactics team. Yeah. And basically they're just trying to stay hidden at the moment in time.
He'll stow the mirror and kind of get Rango's attention. Hey mate, just whenever it's time, shake me awake. Well, I'm spent.
Righto.
And he's gonna curl up and put his back to the fire. Pass out.
I do want to have cast Tiny Hut before we begin all this. If
Okay.
that can still be done.
Yeah. I will allow that.
Sick.
Alright. So everybody's long resting? Everybody got all their kind of pre-long rest actions out of the way? Alright. In that case, everybody kind of a good 6 to 8 hours later. For some of us 4. Everybody starts kind of stirring awake. You can kind of tell Impy Royce didn't take a rest at all. He's just kind of been sitting, waiting as patiently as he can for you guys to get your mere mortals to get your rest that you need. Cormit kind of comes out of his invisibility and kind of wakes up and is holding his head a little bit, and he's kind of looking around at everybody. Man, weird dreams. All right.
Oh, no shot. Okay.
We ready to roll?
Yeah. Weird dreams indeed.
You had weird dreams too?
Mr. DM, I have a question before we're ready to roll.
Sure.
Forbiddance. How does the 40,000 square feet work? Like, say I was approaching the entrance of a cave system. Could I touch the ground at the entrance of the cave system and have it spread within the cave system for the 40,000 feet?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't specify. It's just amount of floor space.
Yeah.
It like the components are verbal, somatic, material. You can.
Dude, thank
It
God.
doesn't
I don't
even
explode holy
say-
water anymore.
It doesn't even say that you have to see the area, actually.
No, it does not. You can designate a password when you cast a spell. Or else they take damage if they enter the area of the spell. So.
Damn. Then
You be warned.
would it be better to have this go into the cave system from where we enter, or to just cast it? Oh, I have to touch. Never mind. Okay. I have to touch. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll get up.
Alright.
Prestidigitate the fire away. The tiny hut would drop.
I get up and Corma says something about his dreams. I'm gonna look in front of me, kind of where we were battling, and notice some handprints in the snow where it seems like people have fallen down and placed their hand, leaving an impression. I get a little shiver going through me, and anything Corma is telling me about his dreams, I'm not registering. And I'm just gonna start turning.
He's not even really talked about his dreams honestly at all.
Okay. Then I'm gonna start walking toward the crew in the cave.
Got it.
If they haven't already gotten up yet, I'll go over and find Harold and Kenny both. I shake them and just, it's about time, guys.
Harold seems to be honestly a pretty deep sleep. Kenny, however, basically rose as soon as you shook him. Harold, it took you a couple tries getting him up, and you kind of just shook it off at first. Then he finally gets up. Oh, I was never mind. Ready to roll. It's I guess get our front row seats to the end of the world, huh?
Something like that.
I'm gonna get Chuchi back as well.
Chuchi comes back.
Fantastic.
Search will wander over to Ganger real quick. Offer a clink.
Accept the clink.
Clank accepted.
You nervous, friend?
Well, considering I don't really know what to expect.
Me too.
I'm nervous in every battle. But what can you do?
Well, just in case, huh? And I'll kind of like place my hammer like in the middle of your chest, and like warm sensation, almost like you had just taken a hit of fire salts or something, start to, fill your circuits, and I'll cast Death Ward on Gengu.
And what does that do?
If you drop to 0 hit points, you don't go unconscious. You stabilize at 1.
I think I already have that.
Oh, do you? Fuck. Double Death Ward.
Gift of the Protectors.
I'm not sure they stack.
What do you mean? It would trigger the Death Ward because it's temporary, and then it would trigger the Gift of the Protectors because that's permanent.
Yes. Well, thank you, Serge. And I just laid my hand on your chest.
There's your Death Ward, dude.
And yeah, that's that.
You feel no protections, but you feel better for some reason.
Yeah, no,
Inspiration point.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? There you go. Have one. He's right. Inspiration point. You've been inspired.
Heroic inspiration now, apparently.
I see that.
That doesn't exist. That's dead to us right now. 2024 rules don't exist to me.
Yeah.
Not in this campaign.
Yeah, I'm with that. It's too much to learn.
Yeah.
I think Serge is pretty much a ball of nerves right now, and when Gengu does that, he kind of realizes he just lets out a nice, good, hearty chuckle.
Yeah. A little bit of levity in the situation.
Yeah.
18, right, Gengu, is what we said, 18?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I got you.
What do we know about navigating this place? Like, is it just that cave where I put the wall of forest? Is that where we're headed?
You know that leads deeper into the system where you basically went in and looked in, and you could tell is basically some sort of underground highway that the kobolds have been using, and you believe that you kind of picked out the direction along that highway, either on it or kind of like in adjacent, like smaller systems that you could travel alongside of this highway, and you kind of see where they all tend to be kind of coming from and going to, and wherever they're coming from seems to be the way towards where you need to go, towards the peak, towards the Tomb of Tiamat and all the interior stuff. They're kind of looks like they're headed further down to the base of the mountain and out. Most of these kobolds and followers of Tiamat.
Okay. Okay. Alright, lads, we ready to get moving?
Let's go
Good a time as any?
I've left the cave. Yeah.
fulfill a prophecy.
Go fuck Tiamat up.
I've sat here next to these handprints in the snow, and I put my handprint next to it. And
As you do that,
I have this feeling that my handprint is so much different than the other one. Large, blocky, not human-like.
Yeah.
And I'm just feeling melancholy.
as you look at those handprints and go to put your handprint, you put your handprint down and then you pull it up and you look at all the handprints. Some of those flashes start hitting you again.
I imagine the black abyss comes back and it's flashes of this.
Yes,
My vision is completely blind.
It's
And it is
basically
just
white with those little bits of imagery in there.
I see all these bits of imagery flash, 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 flash. And then a hammer comes smacking down and wakes me up.
I just realized that you used the wrong piece in there.
As I'm walking by and the hammer comes down, I want to be walking by and with the shield, like, bump him on the shoulder a couple times. Bump Gingu on the shoulder a couple times.
I feel this bump from Rango at the exact same time the hammer comes smacking down in my vision. And at that moment, I feel a shiver run through my body, eliminating the sense of warmth that Serge just gave me. And it seems to nullify the effects or the warmth from the fire salts as well. And this is the first time I've felt neutral since running away from Orlo's farm at the very beginning.
You good, Gingo? Ready to go?
What? Yeah. Sorry, lads. So, what's the plan?
Going through the caves.
Leroy flies in before Rango can even speak. Well, the plan is, as soon as you're ready, I will let Jamoka know, and we will go the quickest route, which expertly I've been talking to Constatori, the one piece of reliable information on this mountain, and I do believe this cave system is the fastest way to the peak, unless someone knows a faster way to get to the peak by some chance.
Hasn't he... He's aware. He was there whenever I scried the circle, right?
I don't think so, actually.
I think that was a while before.
I think
Yeah,
that was
showed up.
before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was when we were in the dark, right? Not the
Well,
dark.
I for some reason I was thinking that that he was there for that because I remember, or maybe it wasn't when I scried it, but I think he's aware that we have the circle because we talked about like using it and how there would be like so many forces, and he was like, no forces too many or whatever the fuck. I thought he was
It does sound familiar.
like super confident about like being able to handle it.
Yeah. Well, that has escaped his mind.
Okay.
For the time being.
Fair enough.
Constatori has been in his ear quite a bit.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead a bit. I'll just be at the mouth of the cave. Need about 10 minutes, then we should be good to move in.
All right, I'll let Jamoka know that in 10 minutes, everything will be underway.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself as I go around this corner and go to the mouth of the cave.
All right. As you cast invisibility and go to the mouth of the cave, you see Cormit. Once he sees you go invisible, he kind of look back at the group and he gets a little smile and he goes invisible and he starts following you towards the mouth of the cave.
Okay.
Hold it. Before you go, take this.
There's no response. He's invisible.
Well, I am going to take the ring of spell turning and hold it out in my hand.
Nobody comes to grab it.
Anybody? It doesn't fit on my finger.
Harold is sharpening his blade, and then he looks up for a second, and then he just kind of goes back to sharpening his blade.
I'm right there with you, Gengu, and I point to my little meaty sausage fingers. It won't fit.
I see his fingers and I wince a little bit. And I put the ring back. Whatever, y'all.
What do them fingers do, Saoirse? Make him wince like that?
I don't know. Insight check. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, go for it.
I was actually thinking about doing that anyway, just from your reaction near the statue.
Ringo, as you guys kind of get outside the group, you hear very lightly, like barely audible, you just hear behind you. Sneaking. Sneaking. Sneaking.
I turn around. Comet.
He sees you turn around, he just freezes. And then he just kind of sneaking.
I get to the mouth of the cave. And is it all clear?
You kind of peer in to the mouth of the cave. And if you remember, you had to go kind of deep inside to get to where it kind of opened up to where you could see the highway. But this little entrance part, kind of leading into the smaller cave system to get down into the actual kind of like wider hollow, it appears to be clear.
Okay. I am going to drop my invisibility and use Arcane Eye and start casting Forbiddance into the cave as a ritual, which should take 10 minutes. And then as I'm doing that, I'm going to be sending the Arcane Eye forward into the cave until it notices, anything of importance, be it dragon folk or fiend or anything like that. And on the
what's your creature or chosen type?
Fiend.
Got it.
And the password will be let's see what I want the password.
Technically, I think as long as they're not that chosen creature type, I don't think they take damage anyways.
Correct.
So, but I mean, you can still designate a password though.
Yeah,
if you would like. Yeah.
The password is going to be Bumba.
Bumba.
Yeah. And the damage is going to be radiant.
Got it.
And then as...
Yeah, so you start sending the ion?
Yeah. As the group approaches, I'll be, performing this ritual, and in between, anytime I do these rituals, the verbal is going to be, in Elvish, so mixed between the Elvish, I'll kind of turn back and, say to the group that, this spell, it's going to prevent any sort of teleportation for a good ways into the cave. So I don't imagine that any of us would be doing any of that, but it ought to root out any fiends that are in there. So figured it'd be beneficial.
So yeah, roll your 5d10 for me.
Saoirse goes, oh, nice, okay, that's fine. Turns around and unprepares gate. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's eliminates my favorite escape plan.
And then
Have to
let me
keep
know.
the gate in my hand.
Let me know what that damage number is, sir.
29.
29.
And that, I guess, would happen every 6 seconds
Yeah.
to every
Cool.
fiend in the area.
As you start sending this eye in, it gets past like the little small entrance. You can see down on the highway below. It's mostly kobolds that are making up this like force, but there are fiends and stuff kind of scattered within. And some are like lesser fiends, some are like kind of big and bulky. You start seeing like lesser fiends just kind of like drop in droves around these kobold forces, and then some of the larger fiends start kind of like taking damage and freaking out, and some of them start flying off into different directions. Some of them you see several like jump off into this black void below just to kind of escape whatever this witchcraft that has been bestowed upon them that they don't understand. And the path that looks like you guys would be kind of taking kind of up above this, kind of think of it as like a little bit of like a catwalk, kind of dug out in the cave system above this highway system. There's a couple small fiends as you're kind of going along this catwalk where basically they just had some like small fiendish guards up here that have also kind of passed away from this damage. And some of the kobolds that were up there with them have now started kind of freaking out and running off in kind of a little bit of a panic. So you've created quite the scene in this initial little part of the hollow here. And it's a little bit of chaos everywhere the eye kind of looks. But at the moment, your immediate path looks pretty clear after casting the spell for quite a ways.
Okay. I am going to try and remember real quick what this guy's name was.
Guy's name.
Ah, right. Yeah. I will finish the ritual and slap the ledger shut and be like, "Good fucking job, Daryl." And then I'll get up and I'll say, "All right, the spell appears to be working. Should soften up the soften the army a bit. So, who's leading the way?"
When he says that, I'm gonna turn around. His Mr. Dramoka on off yet?
No, he, as you guys are about to enter the cave, though, he's kind of preparing to start flying off, though.
Just approach him really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the final push.
It would appear so.
I'll just give him a very respectful bow and stay safe, Master.
You as well, Ojitai. I want you to remember one thing. We chose you for a reason. To be the next head of the temple. We have great faith in you, Ojitai, that you will get this done. And regardless of what happens to us, we firmly believe that you will survive this ordeal. And if the rest of us shall perish, it is up to you to carry on the tradition of the temple. And we have great faith in you.
promise to do my best.
He kind of bows his head towards you and gives kind of a long-lasting look towards the group and towards Kenny and Impy Royce, and just kind of takes a breath and looks around. My long, long years of life, this is by far the most important event that's taken place. In fact, it honestly dwarfs any other past experience I've ever had. I am nervous, Ojutai, but your group you are with gives me great confidence in us. You've gone out and adventured the world as we sent you out to do. And you've managed to find some things worth holding on to. And then he kind of looks beyond you towards the rest of the group. Goldbringers, the eyes of Branacor are upon you. And though we might not be with you on this journey down into these caves inside this mountain, we are giving every effort outside to buy you as much time as possible. Best of luck to you all. And then without kind of waiting for a response, he starts flapping his wings and takes off and starts jetting down towards the surface of the base of this mountain.
I give him one of these.
He stops and 360s, returns, and gives you one, and then he flies up.
At that, I'll turn around, head straight toward the cave, and start kind of nudging everyone to the side and taking the lead of the group.
Got it.
And as I enter the cave, I notice that I look down at my hammer, and I see the fire side of my hammer seem like it's starting to dwindle, but the ice side of my hammer seems to grow as if it's siphoning energy from the fire side. And I still feel that chill running through my bones.
As you're doing this, you see Cormit. You kind of pass up Cormit, and as you pass up, he kind of becomes invisible, and he follows closely behind you as you start going down into the cave. Harold kind of awaits no invitation and follows closely behind both of you. Kenny stands next to you, Ojutai, and kind of waits for your lead. Impy Royce stands firmly next to Saoirse.
How deep into the cave has the Arcane Eye seen the first kobold? I just want to relay that information.
Initially, it would have been not too probably a good half mile down into this cave system.
Okay.
Where some more guards, but they've since kind of scattered and ran off in different directions. So as you kind of get probably about a mile or so in with this eye, how far is the distance on this eye?
I don't know that it has one.
Arcane Eye is the spell, right?
Yes. There is no limit to how far away from you the eye can move, but it can't enter another plane of existence.
Got it. So yeah, about a mile in or so, the caves start to because it was kind of open, and like I said, it was more like a little bridge up kind of in the ceiling of this cave system initially. But then it digs into the mountain itself and turns into kind of a winding cave system, a little bit thinner than obviously the highway. But it's still, you could fit several Gengus in some of these corridors. It's pretty well dug out and honeycombed throughout. And as the eye is kind of going around, there's lots of different paths to take. And the first little split, you kind of make it about, like I said, about 1.5 miles or so down deeper into this cave system. And then you get to this, like, where it is honeycombed off into, like, what seems like infinite different directions, just different tunnels leading all over the place.
Okay. So how far before we run into someone?
You make it all the way that way, and the kobolds have kind of scattered and gone off in different directions from basically pretty far into this cave system here.
So, like, are they, like, running from the Forbiddens?
So
because they were in that area, right?
Right.
Okay.
What you kind of noticed was that they all kind of had some sort of fiend, kind of like, think about it like Halo,
leading them.
Like the grunts had like an elite with them. Yeah, their elites just kind of got killed off, and now they're kind of in a panic mode.
Yeah. No, none of them are pulling out any glowing blue balls or like running towards us.
No, you don't see any of that.
Okay.
And this
like I said, this kind of created a bit of chaos. It was kind of out of nowhere.
Okay.
And kind of spooked everybody.
Yeah. All it cost me was 1,000 gold.
This is all from the eye, right? We're not that far in yet.
No, correct? You guys are still at the entrance, I believe, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to relay that information, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Before Serge steps in, with MP Royce looming, he is going to turn his back to MP Royce and look out over the cliff edge and kind of take in, the entire region of Branacor laid out in front of them.
Yep.
Just kind of look up, and as the like snow falls, he just closes his eyes and takes a breath and like feels some of the snowflakes hitting his face, and as they like touch his warm skin and melt and kind of create little water droplets on his cheeks, he's reminded of both the destructive but potential for rebirth that fire can bring, and warmth and heat.
As you open your eyes and you go to kind of back away from the edge, you see the battle below start to commence, and it basically starts off as a bunch of small little battles that kind of culminate into just one chaotic scene. Off in the distance you can kind of see just basically flashes of light and kind of little bits of like fire rise up and things like that off in the distance. You can't make out individuals obviously that far away, but you can start to see drakes and stuff flying and going down below like tree lines and stuff, and you know that now that the end is begun.
Yeah, I think this sends an intense shock to Saoirse's system, because though we've been adventuring and encountered battles, he's back in war.
Yeah,
in wartime for the first time in a while, and the stakes, if they weren't clear before, are crystal to him now from his experience. And I think he closes his eyes one more time and puts the anvil up to his chest and casts guidance on himself. And one last time before entering the cave with his friends, his family, just reaches out to Moradin, just opens his mind up and his soul up to Moradin, not really asking for anything, but just, understanding that this anvil, is an extension and a symbol of trust between him and his deity, and just kind of, I guess he's really just looking for good luck.
Yeah.
Little mark of grace.
Yeah.
So you kind of open yourself up to your deity there for this kind of sign of good luck. And you look up in the sky away from all this destruction, and you see on off in the distance, obviously it's kind of cloudy and snowy above you, but you can kind of make out different areas and like weather systems, and further away from the mountain it's pretty much clear skies, except for one cloud that seems to take form in the shape of what appears to you like an anvil. And it sits there for a moment, kind of just off in the distance, and then it begins kind of wisping away.
And they start to give a soft smile, turn, and see Impirois staring at him. And then the moment kind of is brought back to stark reality. And Inksters gets a little annoyed and just completely brushes past him and moves into the cave.
All right. Sorry, I'm doing one thing real fast.
So you said we walked like almost a mile and we're at a crossroad now?
Yes. So as you guys
Is it
basically follow the eye in that has led you guys, and the eye has kind of stopped, where basically you come to this giant kind of opening where it is just this honeycomb of different smaller kind of tunnels branching off in different directions. It very much looks like kind of like a honeycomb, like a beehive almost, where it's just tons of just tiny little tunnels, some going up, some going down, some going straight ahead, some going left, some going right. Some seem to almost lead to nowhere, like you go in and then would just come right back out, just in a different tunnel. There seems to be no kind of pattern or direction to any of it. Feel free to make insight checks, perception checks, anything.
I think actually if the sense at that point for all of us is a bit of uncertainty, Serge will step up and kind of saddle alongside Gangu at the front of the pack.
Yeah.
And you said we're on sort of like we were on like a catwalk area, but there'd be like a stone wall near us, maybe. And you take his anvil and drag it along that wall, and the sort of little bits of debris or dust that might fall off, he takes the anvil and draws a circle with it on the ground, and he's going to cast Find the Path and name the tomb of Tiamat.
While he's doing this, Gangu would like to detect if there's any wind.
Gangu would like to detect if there's any wind?
I would like to perceive if there's a breeze coming from any of these tunnels.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
A 21.
21.
Nice.
Gangu, you're sitting there, and Saoirse, you still cast your spell, correct? Saoirse casts a spell. Do you kind of exclaim when you see the path to Tiamat?
Yeah, I don't know what it would look like visually.
Ooh,
yeah,
right.
It just says,
so
describe it.
basically for you.
Oh yeah.
What?
I think, yeah, it would look like if he draws the circle with the anvil.
Yeah.
And sort of like sets out in front of him, from the hilt of the anvil, a sort of almost ethereal flame will extend from it, hit the middle of that circle that he drew, disconnect from the hilt, and then that ethereal flame just immediately shoots off in a direct line, being the shortest, most direct physical route.
And the dust created from his circle is picked up by the wind going in the direction.
Exactly.
Blown away.
So Basically, you all start following this circle out into this honeycomb area, and you see Saoirse. This path leads to one very specific tunnel. It looks no different than any of the rest. It's just that's where the path leads you. And you requested Tiamat's tomb, so you know for certain this is going to lead you towards Tiamat's tomb. And you can see that path. You walk into the cave, and it's like one of the smaller looking little tunnels off to the right.
Before we start down that route, I'm casting Foresight.
Okay, but I would like to do one thing before you do that. Kengu, you follow this feeling of wind, this cold breeze, and you look off over to your left, and you can feel this cold breeze, this chilly breeze coming from one of the other smaller tunnels. Do you go to get a closer look at this tunnel? The group has kind of started veering off to this path off to the right. You notice Cormit sticking next to your side, and he kind of looks at you as you start looking off at this tunnel off to the left.
As I'm stuck with indecision, the vision of Orlo and the boy turning into dust and blowing with the wind seems to dissolve into the dust that is now going down this tunnel. I would like to sit there and acknowledge what you just mentioned to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then if anyone else is next to me at that time, all going right, let me just roll for it. I can't make this decision on my own. I gotta let fate decide.
Okay. What are you rolling exactly?
I'm rolling for right or left, and I'm going left.
Okay.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
So the group starts going off that way.
Wait. I want to do something before we start moving.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
This is at the point of indecision. I've made the decision to start going left now.
Yes.
Rango.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like while Saoirse is doing that, I'm casting Foresight on myself. That's
okay.
Instant. Well, it looks like it takes a minute actually, but
my casting time for Find the Path is a minute, so you can.
Perfect. So those line up, and then the second that it fires off in that direction.
Yeah.
Sesh, what's that?
It'll be the most direct route. I named the Tomb of Tiamat. It is essentially a beacon we can follow.
All right. And have we passed the edge of my forbiddance?
No, not yet. Yeah.
40,000 feet, right?
40,000 feet. I think a mile is 5,000 and.
Yeah, 5,800.
Oh, fuck.
There you go.
But how many Gengus is that? We all know that's a universal measure.
We need the measurement in Gengus.
It's pretty close to that. I don't remember exactly.
Mile in feet. I think
I haven't seen Remember the Titans in a long time.
5,280.
Okay.
Oh, I said 820. Fuck.
Is it 280?
Yeah, 280.
I haven't seen Remember the Titans in a long time. Petey, you pick up that damn ball and you run.
At the moment of when you're explaining what the fireball is to Rango, I take my first step left because I'm leading the group.
You guys see Gangu branch off to the left along with Cormit.
Not in a mall walk or anything. I'm slowly
right
going.
Gingu?
Guys?
I'm gonna do a self-perception check here.
Okay.
Okay, I do hear you. Yes, Rango.
Wait. This way.
There's something this way, Rango.
Insight check.
I feel it too.
Seems to be pulling me.
24 on the insight check.
Danny, do you have anything to hide?
I have nothing to hide.
So
I just feel a pull in this direction.
Basically, Rango, something outside of himself seems to be dragging him that way. Something is luring him in that direction. Luring is a bad word.
There's nothing
he
to
used.
my knowledge that I can give to you, or else I would.
Yeah, he doesn't exactly know what it is, but something is capturing his attention that direction.
And apparently Cormit too.
And Cormit too.
And
Lads,
every
Sush
step
has
I
found
take
the
this-
path. We need to go this way.
The path to what, Rango?
To Tiamat's tomb.
Death.
The path to end this. What are you on about?
And every step I take, I notice the flame on my hammer begin to dwindle more and more while the ice on the other side begins to grow.
Roll a perception check for me, Genku.
16.
16. As you get closer and closer to the entrance of this tunnel, you start to notice a ancient cave painting of a sort. Basically, it's nothing crazy, but you notice it looks like a hand painted with just black paint, basically, kind of scribbled onto the wall next to this tunnel.
As soon as I catch eyes on this painting, my vision goes white, and all of what Rango is saying when he's trying to convince me to go right turns into a ringing in my ear, and I don't hear anything else. And all I see is these hands starting to appear in black and blue splotches all across my vision.
With Cersei's passive perception of 22, would he notice the change in Gengu's hammer by chance?
Yeah,
Oh my-
I mean, you all are in a very dark cave. You notice physically the light of the hammer itself, the little ambient glow, starts to kind of dwindle a little bit.
And it seems a little meta, but I did have Cersei clock Gengu near the statue, so I'm gonna say to Rango, I think something's wrong. I think something's wrong with Gengu and Cormit. They slept near that statue last night, and this behavior is just inconsistent. Gengu!
I'm gonna go try to physically block the path between them and this path to the left.
I don't hear Sturge. Just
Yeah,
ringing,
yeah.
ringing still.
Uh-huh.
I'll kind of jog over there to get.
You step up in front of Gengu
And Cormit, and I hold my arms out.
Cormit kind of stops as you do this.
What, does Gingu trample over me?
I am going to see what I perceive. Okay. My vision is still white. I don't see you. I'm still slowly walking forward.
Okay, then he pushes right through me.
Well,
Yeah.
I more so put the ice side of my hammer against your chest. What do you do when I do that?
You feel freezing cold, numbing cold temperatures just hit your chest, basically.
Not hitting, just placing.
No, I know,
Trying to
but I
push
mean,
you- trying to push you to the side.
It
to
feels like
get
he's been
closer to
hit.
this
That's
painting.
it's that kind of cold where he just got punched in the chest by this cold, basically.
I like to think that these hands in my vision
Mhm.
morph into the form of Rango in front of me, so I can still see him, but he's made up of hands.
Okay.
And I just use him to push to the side to get to the larger hand that is in my vision in the back.
Yeah.
I guess that once he puts his hammer to my chest, I'm kind of shifting to the side to get out of the way, and then I'm gonna wide-eyed look towards Ojutai and Sersh.
Cormit, as you do that, Cormit kind of tugs on you, and
Also,
gets your
who
attention.
who is with us? It's us and Cormit. Is Kenny with us?
MP Royce,
MP
Kenny's
is-
with you,
Whole
and
squad.
Harold. Yeah.
And Harold.
Kenny.
MP
Okay.
Royce is kind of quiet, just what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
He hasn't said a
I-
word.
Yeah, with Cersei's hunch about the statue, I'll turn to MP Royce and sort of lashing out just because of the relationship he has with MP Royce. Just, do you know anything about that? Do you know anything what's going on right now? They slept near that damn statue, and now they've been acting weird all morning.
I honestly don't know anything about that statue. It is ancient even before my time.
Well, fuck. And then they'll turn away from him and walk toward, or hurriedly walk toward.
I'll immediately walk up to Gengu when he starts putting the hammer towards Rango, and I'll put a hand on his shoulder. Just, Gengu, we don't have time for this.
You notice I am cool to the touch. Completely out of the ordinary from what Gengu usually has. Gengu usually has like a orange aura around him of warmth from the fire salts. But you're starting to notice that the orange is starting to go away and he's becoming like a deep bluish green copper as he gets colder and colder. And yeah, as this happens, I'm going to take my last few steps toward the painting, vision still in my hand, white background, these black and blue hands. And as I approach the last hand, the fire side of my hammer goes completely out, and the ice side seems to take over completely. And all of the orangeness from my body disappears, and I am full on blue-green from all the way down. And it seems like I have been consumed by cold, and at that moment, the white vision goes away, replaced with a blackness, where all of the dust starts to swirl together and forming Gengu surrounded in ice.
Sersh, is this a curse? Can you...
Cormit kind of pipes up as you start, he sees the panic in everybody. Well, I feel drawn that way too, I won't lie. Gengu's taking it a bit harder than me, I see. But, something... I feel we need to go this way. I do. And I can't explain it. But there is a reason. And I don't know it. But I'm gonna go with Gengu. And he kind of starts walking off, following Gengu towards the entrance.
I'm gonna...
His tone is like that too, like completely...
Yeah.
Like different than what we're... can I reach out as he turns and try to like put a hand on his shoulder to turn him back, but really I'm just looking, and I know I maybe take a little poison damage here, but I'm trying to feel, is he cool to the touch too?
He feels a little bit cooler to the touch, yeah.
Saoirse is panicked. He will reach out to both of them and, well, fuck.
Do you have detect magic?
No, I mean I have dispel magic, but I mean I'm under the impression this is the curse too. I mean, I was about to try. Saoirse's panicked now after feeling.
Question.
Yeah,
God,
as well.
I could probably just look this up. I'll just look it up. I'm not gonna ask the question.
But he's gonna turn, and since Gengu looks like
they still. Sorry.
No, you're good. The flame of his hammer like completely going out, and him shifting color and aura, like he fears for his friend. He's gonna reach out and place a hand on Gengu's back and cast Greater Restoration. In some blind hope.
My witch sight doesn't see anything, does it?
Witch sight. Define that for me again, real fast. Sorry, I'm about to start reading something, and
yeah.
I just wanna.
You just sees through illusions and stuff, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, there is no
illusion or transmutation magic.
No, you don't see anything like that. I will say, Saoirse, make a religion check.
Okay. 22.
22. This is not magical. Whatever is happening, it is divine.
Oh boy.
Rango, you've
so
kind of
would you-
wandered closer to this tunnel, right?
I
Kind
mean,
of trying to stop.
yeah, I got in front of them in the tunnel, however
You
far they had
feel-
gotten in there.
You feel in your, I believe it is supposed to be, are you just like carrying straight up a chest with you?
That's in the bag of holding.
All right. You feel the bag of holding in your inventory start to kind of vibrate somewhat.
Okay. I slink back, like I scurry back to the center of the
The vibration is there, but less the further away from the tunnel.
Okay, I am going to so Gingu is into the tunnel, but there's still more he could keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Did the currently just sitting there staring at this cave painting?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
so
but
yeah, is the tunnel doesn't go very deep, right? It's just kind of like a little egress, and then there's this cave painting on a wall. Is that
No? So the cave, the little painting of this black hand is on the side,
see.
next to this cave.
okay?
But
continues
the
further
cave,
deeper.
yeah, it goes deeper and it gets a
Okay.
little bit darker.
you said that we can see the black hand?
Yeah, it's visible as you get
Can
closer.
I
You could make it out.
Do a history check?
Well, as I touched Gengu to go cast Greater Restoration, I think that the sense of the religion check would have hit in, and I kept from doing that, and I would have turned. Rango, this isn't arcane. This isn't a curse.
What is it?
This is some sort of divine. It's divine. It's
Divine.
divine in nature, but I don't recognize it. I don't know what it is.
Seeing the black hand, I would like to see if there's anything that I can think this is related to.
Give me a history check.
Well, if he's saying it's religion,
You can do religion if you want.
okay.
You want to do religion?
Or if he's saying it's divine, then yeah.
And
You can do
I
both for one.
give assistance.
Natural
one
20.
of those.
A natural
Okay, never mind.
on the religion check.
Yeah, on the religion check.
On the religion check. You are sitting there for a moment. You're just like in a little bit of a panic, like what is going on? You're just trying to think. And Rango, I wouldn't consider the most religiously inclined person, but he sits there and thinks, and you get a sudden like realization. This black hand symbol you've seen before. It meant nothing to you at the time because you just kind of flipped through it haphazardly. It seemed infinite, but in the book that you got out of the chest of the skeletal undead looking dragon from Starmount many months ago, IRL, you've seen that symbol as you were kind of skimming through pages. You've also seen the symbol in the other book that you picked up in the Hydra's lair long time ago.
Oh,
Talmetvar.
I think I have that journal.
And with a natural 20,
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
with a natural 20, I'll give you a little bit more. As you start remembering all these things, and You realize the symbol means something. There is some sort of connection between those two books. You start to remember things that at the time seemed unimportant. You've seen this symbol in different places. You saw this symbol on the streets of Port Branicore. You saw this symbol on the streets of River March. You've seen this symbol at Starmount on a couple of pieces of machinery. At the time, it meant nothing to you. It just wasn't even a thought when you saw this. But now, what's happening right now with a natural 20, with a natural 20 religion check, with Gengu, Cormit walking there, this symbol is suddenly just in your memory. You've seen it places. You're not entirely sure what it means, but there is some sort of connection between all these places, things, people, and you don't know what it is. All you know is that it's some sort of religious thing.
As this is happening, my vision of the Black Abyss and Gengu frozen in ice, I see a hammer start to hover over Gengu that slowly turns into dust. And then Orlo and the boy walk next to Gengu, and also Ragnar and Kathy, Gengu's parents, walk up next to him, and they all join hands and walk toward the hand as the dust from the disintegrating hammer also gets swept into the hand ahead of me. And as I walk forward, Gengu starts putting up his hand to the other hand, and in the cave itself, Gengu is starting to lift his hand and starting to put it toward the painting.
I am going to cast a spell.
Before or after Gengu places?
Before, as I see, as I am doing this religion check and I see him reaching, I am going to cast
Eldritch Blast.
Wall of
Away from that.
Push him back 10 feet.
I'm going to cast Wall of Force. I'm gonna block them from going further in the tunnel. Block his hand from touching hand.
Does Wall of Force require concentration?
Yes, my arcane eye is gone, but it should be like right here with us, so.
Yeah, it is. You cast Wall of Force. Gengu, you're reaching out and you're like inches away from touching this symbol, and this sudden force field, your hand presses against it, and your hand just physically can't go towards this black hand on the wall.
In my vision of the Black Abyss, my family, Orlo, and the little boy slowly start to dissolve.
I'm gonna turn to Sersh and Ojutai.
What's happening?
And that black hand, I've seen it before. It was in Tolmet Var's book. It was in the chest of Rock Tokesh. I remember seeing it around Rivermarch. It's something to do with Tolmet Var.
I immediately pull Tolmet Var's journal. I rummage through my pack, find it, and I'm just flipping the pages.
You flip through the pages, looking for that hand. And
can I change something about this Wall of Force?
Yes.
It doesn't change what's happened so far. I want it to encapsulate Cormit and Gengu.
The Wall of Force, can you shape it to be...
Yeah, it's panels,
3D?
10 by 10 panels.
Got it. All right, you've imprisoned Cormit and Gengu in this Wall of Force.
Fantastic.
Can sound travel through?
Don't know.
Will you look into that for me?
Yes, sir.
You're looking for this symbol, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start rapidly flipping through pages, just pages. And then almost like a page or two before, if you remember, there's just scribbles everywhere.
Yeah.
You see next to, you see the symbol kind of loosely, haphazardly drawn in the lower right corner of the page before flipping to kind of the scribbles. You see the symbol, and then you see a word or a name of some kind. Irignu. IRIGNU.
GNU.
Mm-hmm.
IRIGNU.
It doesn't specify about sound. It says nothing can physically pass through the wall.
I felt like we had this conversation.
We have had this conversation.
It has just been so fucking long ago. I think we said sound is fine. I think.
I mean, if not, then
Whatever
I
you
can
want
like
the
leave a
scenario
little
to entail.
crease, a little 2-inch crease for sound, or
Is it up to 10 feet, or does it have to be 10 feet panels?
I was gonna say it wouldn't hit the roof of this place, so you guys
Okay.
could shout over the top.
I could put a panel on the top if I wanted to close the sound off. But
all right, do you want to?
no.
Okay, the top. You're not closed all the way in. Gangu.
So, Ryan, if you remember when I spent some time reading this before, you described to me, and I have written down here that there was the quote, like, I found a way, eternal life brought them back. But then I have certain ramblings repeated 5 times over and over again. Is that the name Irignu, or is that more just the scribbles?
You see Irignu repeated 5 times, along with other just random scramblings, but that word name that was there before now stands out.
I'm still kind of flustered in a panic. I will, now having something to take this idea of what's happening is now like linked to this name, so it has something. So I'm gonna fuck no, I can't do that.
Sush, anything?
Empty Royce kind of starts walking towards the group that is gathered over here now. What in the hell are we doing? What is happening? Why? You said the path was this way, and he points off to the right.
What have you found in the book, Sush?
Sorry, the pronunciation one more time, Ryan.
Irignu.
Irignu. I flip the book and hold it out to face Rango, and point to the 5 repeated scribbles of Irignu.
While this is happening,
no.
While this is happening in my vision, all of my friends and family are starting to dissolve from the feet up. And before this happens, you see all 5 of them start to just raise their fist and start punching at the wall in front of them. And seeing this, Gangu joins them and starts taking his hammer and smacking against the wall. And in real life, he is repeatedly beating against this wall toward the painting.
What's Cormit doing?
Cormit is kind of looking at Gangu and looking at the rest of you. And he's just like, guys, listen, I'm not entirely sure that what we're doing, me and Gangu, what we've, for some reason, we are the only ones that kind of feel this, but there is a reason that we need to go there. I'm not sure what it is, but I think it is a mistake not to go this way.
Insight check.
I will join.
I'll just give you advantage. I'll help you.
Nat 20 for a 32.
Oh, Nat 20. There is
spilled beans.
Half and half here.
Mm-hmm.
You insight. Cormit genuinely thinks maybe there is some sort of secret answer beyond this that he truly doesn't know is good or bad. He doesn't know, but he feels like there's something hidden beyond this that he himself wants to see and maybe he thinks could be of aid for you guys. The other half, definitely some sort of outside influence of some kind. Maybe not even actively influence him, but something before has definitely influenced him to want to go this direction.
Does that influence feel dubious?
I will say yes.
Okay. Just with the context of Talmud's journal and sort of descending into madness. It
right.
kind of
They're
off.
It's not ideal. You're getting a lot of red flags.
Whenever Sersh holds out the book, I'll mage hand and shift it to face Impy.
Yeah.
And Constatory.
Does the name Rignu mean anything to you, Emperos?
I can't say it does. No, nothing to me. He kind of spins around and Constatory on his back. Oh, let's see. What have we got here? Bunch of scribblings. What am I looking at? I was turned around. What am I searching for here? It looks like a bunch of random scrabbles. Maybe somebody was playing. There was an ancient game long ago. Me and Garvin would play. I think it was called Wordle, and long forgotten at this point. But
Story. Focus.
Yes. What are you?
This name printed in this book here. This name seems to be linked with some sort of influence that's holding Gengu and Kormit right now. Does this name mean anything to you?
Rignu.
Seems to be linked to the statue that they slept under last night.
You remember how I said that some of this place seems unfamiliar? Before the caves, seeing that name, I think I know where we are, actually. Yes, I do. Rignu. Yes. So, I have heard that name or term before. I'm not sure what it was. Garvin came across it when he found one of the masks through that cave that your friend was trying to get through.
The black one, I assume.
I think it was the black one. But he was going on and on about some sort of note that was left that he found. I don't remember exactly what he had said about the note. He didn't even give me, and you can see that the tone of Constatory is kind of turned to a little bit more of a serious tone. It wasn't, he never really brought it up to me. It wasn't conversated a lot. He just said that he had found a note, that he believed whoever had the mask before left the note, and there was 4 more. That's when the mask search began, after he found the black one. There, I believe it was the black one. Maybe another color. It escapes me. But he just kept going on about there being 4 more of these masks out there, and he said that he went through the tunnel, and that's how he knew that there was 4 more of these masks in there, and that's when he started this great journey of finding what he had been looking for, the ring that one of you now has. I'm not sure which one has the ring, but
this tunnel.
That tunnel.
Is this the? Oh wait, 1 second. Is this? So it's not a dead end tunnel, right?
Mm-mm.
Right.
So does where the big black hand is painted on the wall, does it give hidden door vibes?
Oh. It gives. You remember when we first started this campaign and you were marking walls with chalk?
Yes.
Gives that vibe.
Okay. Is the vibration still happening?
As you get closer to the tunnel, it increases. As you go further away, it ceases.
Okay. I'm gonna inch closer and open the bag of holding to see what's vibrating.
It's the book from Skeletal Dragon.
Okay.
And Talmavar's journal is not reacting in that way, correct?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's nothing.
Listen,
There's nothing good down that tunnel. That's for certain. And then I'll kind of open up the bag towards where Sersh and Ojitai can see it.
If I may intrude, well, who's kidding? I'm going to intrude, like it or not, in the conversation. Listen, I think there may be answers that way that could benefit us. Whatever is there through that dark tunnel that your friend seems so desperately wanting to go down, it is what started Garvin on his journey that claimed his life.
Right, we don't want our lives claimed, Constatori.
Well,
But to his point, though, Rango,
It set him on the path searching for this ring or these masks. Maybe there's
Right.
information. What else? You know that these masks together they unlock some kind of key.
yes.
Maybe that's down this way.
Also, if I may interlude again in the conversation, you know that Garvin and me spent a long time together, long time. In fact, me and his corpse were like an infinite amount of time in that void area. It went on for infinite. Anyways, and I got to know his corpse very well at that time. Not much of a talker. Anyways, he listen, he's not as I don't like to speak ill of my friends. He is not as capable as you lot are together. And quite frankly, individually, you probably stronger as well than Garvin. Garvin was
hell.
Fight or
Fucking
flight. There was
hell.
only one answer, and that it wasn't fight most of the time. If you catch my yes, if you just catch,
No,
throw it back.
I'm gonna place my hand, like, I'm gonna be in the open area, so not like in that like cave yet.
Mhm.
I'm gonna place my hand on the wall, and I'm gonna say, Chuchi, investigate. And send him down, and I'm gonna look through his eyes and start going down.
Rango, man, I've been murked unrelentlessly as of recent. I know you got that little fancy eye that does the same thing, and that
I can't concentrate on both at the same time.
Well, you know what, Rango? I'm gonna be real with you. I'll do it. I don't really got much of a choice, but you are once again sending me into a dark cave that has turned your friend into some sort of mind zombie for whatever's in that cave, and he's got a real hard on for it right now. The painting dude that's real annoying. He seems real eager to go in there, and there's never been anything good from him. But you know what? Just for you, Rango, I'll go get my ass lit up once again. So that you know that you don't need to go in there. All right? Is that what you want from me? Is that what you want from your dear friend Chuchi that's been with you since day fucking one?
I want you to be safe, but go down the tunnel.
We hear the whole time, right?
Just a screeching noise.
Yeah.
I go, that's a lot of back talk from Chuchi. Everything all right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be telepathic. I don't know what he's doing. And then telepathically, I'm gonna say, go.
Fine, I'll go. Can he go through the wall of force?
Well, I'm. My intent was to just encase them.
Oh, wait.
Apart from like a little bit of
right?
no.
Right. Okay. It's been so long since
Yeah,
you used
yeah,
Chuchi.
Otherwise, I would Arcane Eye.
Yeah. Okay. So you've encased him. So Chuchi kind of squeezes by and starts going into the cave. How far you want me to go down? Oh, you're looking.
I'm looking.
Eyes, right?
I'm looking. I'm looking for more hands. I'm looking
How
for.
far away can Chuchi go from you?
I think there actually is something there.
There is a distance, I believe. I just need to know that distance.
while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as an action, during this time,
All right. So 100 feet.
Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining the benefits of any special senses during this time. Doesn't really say. It says we can't communicate telepathically within past 100 feet, but it doesn't give a range for. It doesn't give a range for when I'm like looking through his eyes, getting those senses. I guess that would be telepathic. So yeah,
I would consider that telepathic.
Yeah,
you can still send him further, and he can come back and report.
Right. So anything within 100 feet.
Cave, and it still keeps going for a little bit of a ways.
Are there more markings?
No.
There are no more markings.
It's a straight line tunnel. No, it's just a straight line tunnel. It's just dark.
All right. Then I'll start bringing him back, and the second I start bringing him back, I'll come to and I'll say, there's nothing more within 100 feet down that tunnel. No more hands. Nothing. It's just a straight line tunnel. It keeps going past that, but the markings end here.
I mean, yes, but, you know, what is beyond that 100 feet? Do we know?
I want to insight check Constitutory.
Okay.
Or help Sersh do that.
I don't think we're going to be getting Ingu back till we figure out what's going on here.
Agreed.
Do we leave Gingu and Cormits strapped up here while we go?
Not.
No.
How?
I don't think so.
I'll go up to
Do I have a vote? Because I would say yes. We need to move.
I'll walk over to Gengu and just, Gengu, sorry about this, but we need you to snap out of this, and I'm gonna swing at him.
Well, the wall of force is still, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what? Wall of force is invisible. I don't know that shit's there. Function the wall of force. Wow.
Just going ham on this wall of force.
Okay.
In my vision, I see Ojitai arrive and from dust compose into himself and start punching at the wall himself with everyone else in my line.
Who is inside? Are you still inside?
Do what?
Or is somebody inside and checking Consultory? Is that still happening?
Yeah. I got a 23.
23. Consultory does not seem to be under any outside influence, but he is very much interested in what is through that tunnel. And you gleam that it is probably because he wants to know why his dear friend Garvin went on the quest that he did.
Okay, I'm going to mage hand the tome of vile evil shit out of my bag, and I'm just going to be holding it away from everybody. And I'm going to say, all right, if we're going down this tunnel, do you want me to release Gingu and Cormit so that they can come with us? I worry that if we release them, they'll move ahead of us and potentially kill themselves.
We'll just have to keep up.
Yeah.
Wait, so that book is outside?
I have it. It's currently being mage handed in the open area, right now.
But out, just in the open?
Yes.
Okay. It's the pages. It opens and pages start flipping rapidly. It's like searching for something inside itself.
At this point,
what you doing there?
This was vibrating as we approached the tunnel. What do you want me to do with? I don't know what to do. Do I blast?
While you're having this conversation, just in the background, it's just these pages are just flipping.
Sersh, you have divine powers. Surely to God, that's what we're looking for this, right?
Yeah, I'll step toward the book. Sure. So you have it, but hey, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I'll see what you're doing with the book first.
Okay. So you have it mage handed out, like, how far in front of us down the tunnel?
It's not down the tunnel. It's in the open area, away from everyone, at reading level.
I'll approach it.
At
Reading level for Randall or for a dwarf?
dwarven reading level.
Dwarven reading level, fantastic.
Which I'm sure is like maybe first grade level, if I had to guess.
I will approach it with the intent to cast legend lore on the book to better understand it. But as I approach it, whatever happens.
So are you trying to physically read this book?
Wait. Before you go using up spell slots, I think that I have already like determined what this thing is.
Oh. Right.
It's okay.
You have.
What is
Yes.
Oh, then I do not do that.
Do the pages stop on any page?
It's the book.
Right now it's still flipping.
Right. That's what I'm mostly curious about.
Right now it's still flipping. What is this book right
It's the Book of Vile Darkness.
So
and then
do you know what that means?
There's a lot of words. It's evil as shit. It is the most evil book in existence. It's like become evil God. It lets you do bad shit better.
Can I? Okay. Do you think, would you have shared, when you identified this book, since we got it, would you have shared this at all with us?
I'm pretty sure that I did. I'm trying to find where we got it. Oh, no, you identified the book, bro.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay.
How do I want to do this?
And you used identify, so you know it.
I know exactly what it is.
Yes. So just, yeah.
Is the page, is it still flipping?
Still flipping.
So, I guess, I don't know if this makes sense at all, but knowing what the book is, and now having this Irignu attached to it as well, I'd like to approach to just be able to perceive if it stops on anything, but can I like insight check the book for like, is
Arcana check? Maybe.
You can do like an Arcana check, or I mean, I'll even like, what are you trying to insight from the book?
Right. I'm trying to. Serge has a hunch that since this came from Raktokesh, since it's all but sentient, kind of, he has a feeling that it's trying to draw Gangu and Kormit down in order to recreate a form of like what Raktokesh was or something like that. Or just like replace the mantle, basically, of what it was before. I'm trying to glean if I get the sense that that's its intent with its sort of awakening near this tunnel, I guess.
So you're trying to figure out what it's like.
Yeah, it's
the book's purposes, like for what it's doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that would be Arcana, probably, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
I'll help.
Okay. Yeah, not bad. Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Alright. The DCS set was a little higher, but Dirty 20 is still good, so I'll give you something. Obviously, this book, you know, from what you've identified it as, is just the root of evil lies within this book. And you know that it's basically an infinite, like, tells of different people's paths to this evil power they're trying to possess. You know, you can't really read any of it without attuning to it, and attuning to it could cost you your sanity. But you kind of glean that there's some sort of strong force, obviously, that is some sort of connected to the name Arignu, to this book. And that force seems to be coming from inside that tunnel. You don't know. The book's not sentient. I'll give you that. It is just some sort of something's drawn to it. Finally, though, I will say, as you're doing this check, the book finally stops on a page.
That can't be good.
Yeah.
But he can't read it.
Can't read it.
Right,
What does it
without
look
being
like
attuned to it,
visually?
is it blank? Like if the page is blank?
It's not blank. It is more like scribbles. But it's like, and it's not even nonsense. It's literally just scribbles, symbols that mean nothing as you're looking at it.
As the pages stop, in my vision, in this black abyss, with all these people in a line smacking on this wall, everyone stops smacking on the wall, including myself. The little boy and Orlo seem to be wrapped in a hand that mimics my own, Gengu's own, as it squeezes them into dust. Two tentacles come out from the abyss, smack Ragnar and Kathy into dust, and here I stand alone as the dust comes in front of me and forms the child version of Kalen Clayson, which is me, and a hammer looming above him. And the hammer smacks down on him. And at that point, I fall backwards and enter an AFK state.
Hey guys, you see Corbett shaking Gengu. He might need some of his first aid 1, 2, and 3 right now. He's not looking too hot inside this force field.
So Saoirse sees the page, it stop on the page, turn, and Gengu has fallen down in the force cage and seems to be in stasis.
Yep.
I turn back to the book and I fire a guiding bolt, 4th level guiding bolt at the book.
Let me read something, because I don't think that will do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. No, it nothing happens. It hits the book and nothing happens.
If you're cool with it, I would like to retcon it to a 1st level guiding bolt, if that's okay.
I'll be a friendly man, and I'll let you retcon it.
You're
welcome.
Search, that just wasn't powerful enough. You're gonna have to put it all in there.
Yeah, put your back into it. No, I'm serious, guys. Gengu's not doing too hot. He's kind of like...
Yeah, no, then when I see that take no effect, I turn and Rango, drop it.
I drop it.
Yeah,
And I go.
I'm not gonna run away, but he's not either right now. He drops to his knees. 1, 2.
So he. I mean, I don't know. I'll cast first level Cure Wounds on him. So I don't really know what's happening.
Fuck.
Gengu, does that cure your psychological wounds that you've suffered just now?
I don't know how cure wounds works.
Him falling down. I'm just, I don't know if like he's unconscious or what. So.
Would you like to do like a perception check of some kind?
I would like to perceive if this ringing in my ears and the blackness or whiteness goes away. 17. Which is pretty damn high. I feel the cure wounds. Yeah, I see little Sersh in my vision. Come and touch me on the shoulder.
So as Sersh touches you on the shoulder, what kind of takes you out of it is the heat of the forge of Sersh kind of putting some of that heat back into you, melting some of that cold brittleness that you've kind of obtained in these last few moments. And that's what kind of makes you come to out of these visions and stuff and out of this AFK state. Gengu, you're on the floor. You have some recollection of what you just saw, but for you, it's almost like a drunken night out. Like you blacked out. You have a little bit of memories of what just occurred. You know, they weren't fond memories, but now you're just on the floor with Saoirse kind of looking very distraught, and you look and all your friends are around just looking very panicked. Impy Royce looks super annoyed.
I lean up, and the first thing I see is the black hand on the wall.
And you go straight up.
And I go smack it again. Do I still feel a pull from the black hand?
You do.
I go up and try to touch it, and realize there's still a force field, so my hand's just sitting.
Oh, it's gone.
He dropped it.
It's
So
gone.
I go to touch it.
Fuck. Shit. Does he acknowledge Sersh at all?
I acknowledge that you got me up.
Yeah, and then you immediately see the black hand and go for it?
It was the first thing when I leaned up. It was right there.
Alright, I'll cast second level hold person on you before you can touch it.
You gotta make that save.
I'm this far away. What's my save?
A wisdom 20.
I was gonna say, if it's strength, you're screwed.
Yeah.
4.
You can legendary resist it.
You can
Fuck off, Rango. Walk off, dude. I'm
not gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it.
You have the option. Are you compelled to do it from this voice in your head?
Well, let me roll for it. Alright, anything above 10, I'm compelled to resist.
Okay.
13.
Oh shit! All right.
I
would say you were so close that once you resist that, I don't have a chance to do anything.
Gengu, you touch the hand. Immediately, what everybody sees happen is these seemingly invisible torches of some kind along this tunnel begin lighting up with blue flames, just kind of, and they click on just one after another, almost like if you were to walk into like a warehouse and turn on the lights, just down this long hallway. And several hundred feet down this long straight tunnel, you see a large black door that looks almost icy cold. You can't make out any details for it. You just see it at the very end of this tunnel.
With my hand on the other hand, I look to the party. We must go. And I take my hand off, turn, and start walking.
Is the Book of Vile
Norman
Darkness still
follows.
sitting on one page?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to trail that along behind us.
Okay.
And also, I'm casting Arcane Eye. I'm fucking sending it down this hallway ahead of us towards that black door.
Okay.
Is there a keyhole?
You send it, and 1 o'clock, right? CST. This is when we
I'm
got
good. I'm good for 1. Yeah.
Okay, because that's in 1 minute.
Well, it's noon in 1 minute, I think. Wait, hold on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Okay. Well,
We're in Eastern
Time change.
right. Well, the reason I was gonna say is because this is a perfect stopping point.
That's perfect for me.
Okay, this is a good stopping point. You send the eye down, and the eye gets to this few feet before this black door, and you see 5 slots where 5 dragon masks would go.
Oh
Open this door.
my god. Okay.
Hmm.
And it
Okay,
lines
wait.
exactly up with what we got too. Is
The-
this going to be a tool of death?
These masks together will unlock something, and the thing you unlock will also unlock something. A tool that can unlock death will be bestowed upon you, and you use these masks to claim it.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. What a great session. Holy moly. Well, I don't have any actions. I'm going to end it with me camera zooming out on the hallway as we're walking forward into this endless tunnel.
Perfect.
Bada
yeah.
bing, bada boom. If that wasn't improv the entire time, I don't know what was.
Dude, that was great.
Realize us going left was all based on a D20 roll.
It was all based on you going and taking a nap next to a
Sleeping
statue.
under that. Yeah.
And then after that, I decided to go left if I went below 10 on a D20.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. Next weekend is Los Brolos on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. I will. The next 2 weekends are
Busy.
Gonna be tough for me. Yeah.
All right. Well, as
Um,
soon as we can, I'm down to schedule.
But I'm still good too for weekdays. I know it hadn't worked out in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Just, but did we say Lucas? Did you say Thursdays are
I'm
off
usually
limits for you?
best on. Now that soccer's over, Monday is good. Wednesday is good. I could probably pull off a Friday, but Tuesday and Thursday is weird because I have to go to the office the next morning.
Okay.
So, like, if we do anything late, it's just my next day is going to be so groggy.
Okay.
And so weekdays for me, the earlier in the afternoon that we can do it, the better.
Yeah.
Because I start my shift at 7. But my supervisor's super cool and would let me start later at 8 if I wanted to, and just work an hour later.
Okay.
So that
It'd be 6
would
Central.
never work for me
Yeah.
because I can't leave the office until 5 Central my time, which is 6 your time.
Right.
And then I get home around 6:30.
Yeah. So we could have a super
But
duper
if we tried to do-
short session.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
So, Lucas, you said like Tuesdays are weird because you can't go late.
Well, Tuesday and Thursday I
Right.
can still do 100%. Can't go super late, so I can still do
Right.
Tuesday, Thursday, but we'd have to cut it off at like 10 p.m. my time.
yeah, I'd
Right,
have to
but
cut
like
off
Ryan's
yeah.
starting work for then anyway, so if we try
Yeah.
to do Tuesdays, like start at 6 p.m. Eastern time, that at least gives us a couple hours.
Yeah, and I work from home Tuesday, Thursday, so that's why I don't have that commute time
Right.
going to the office. So
Yeah.
that works
I mean,
out.
I can make 6 p.m. work
Yeah, I
basically
can probably
any
make
day.
that work too.
So what
Okay.
about this Thursday, 6 p.m.? Is that free for everybody?
This Thursday is going to be tight because I'm prepping gaming tournament and have some
Yeah.
stuff outside of work that I have to be doing.
I was
this
just
week.
we got a session on this Sunday, so if we gotta wait, next
Okay.
week and then try to make it work.
As
that's
long
cool.
as it's not another 2 months.
Yes, I agree. That
I
was a
think
long
I
fucking
think
time.
after this weekend, if we can do Tuesday or Thursday, that'd be perfect.
So all
Shoot for Tuesday the 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I'm the monkey wrench in that one then, because I'll be out of town from the 9th to the 16th.
So
Actually,
Tuesday
from
the
9th to
19th.
the 19th.
Oh, so Thursday the 21st.
No, wait, sorry. Tuesday the 19th. Let me just look at the volleyball game time. Tuesday the 19th, I will be back. But if we're looking for 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern is our window, yeah?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Let me look real quick. Come on, be a late game, motherfucker. Oh, actually, the season ends the 5th. And I don't think Beach has a winter season. So I don't think I'll have to worry about volleyball on Tuesdays or Wednesdays after.
So the 19th then, right now, as of right now.
You're in the 19th working so far.
Okay.
19th, tentative 21st.
As of right now, the 19th is the go-to time.
Yes.
From 6
that
to
looks
8
good to
Eastern.
me. Yep.
That allows you plenty of time to cook up the arc and any minor details.
Yeah.
I think
we are nearing the end, fellas.
I was gonna say I think I have completely thought of the end of the campaign, at least story-wise, for Gengu as well. So
okay.
I'm ready to pull the trigger whenever.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Well,
as awesome as Brittany from Baltimore was, I'm glad that I turned it down for D&D.
Nah, today's session was fun. Hope y'all don't mind me taking some of the airwaves to lay out some very crucial details.
Of course not. What do you
No,
mean?
it was cool. It was cool.
Cool.
We're telling a story.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
Share, please.
someone's
share.
gotta.
Please share.
All right, boys. Kiss
I was
the
gonna say,
stream
you made a
goodbye.
comment.
Adios.
Bye-bye,
stream.
stream.
My stream.